Hey everyone, so I am doing a Nintendo retrospective for their 125th anniversary. I am playing my top 25 games leading up to my very first list video, my top 25 Nintendo games. It doesn't need to be Nintendo developed, but it does need to be Nintendo published. And in today's case, we have the infamous, God, that's another game from another, anyways, Pokemon Yellow. So I remember playing Pokemon Blue, trying to borrow it from my cousin, and my cousin was being a butt and never let me borrow it. So instead, when I finally got a Game Boy Color, this was about the time that this was being released, and I remember the cartoon very well. Well, anime, but at the time we knew of it as the cartoon, Pokemon. This game, this music is actually taking me back. I remember playing this game so much. I obviously had it before my Game Boy Advanced, so I had it with my Game Boy Color, my purple see-through Game Boy Color, and I remember going through tons of batteries. Yeah, see, this is also a thing too that they were trying to tie it in with the game, with the anime, with Ash here, and honestly, that's what I named him. I totally named him Ash. Now his name really should be Yellow, because if you look at the quote-unquote the canon names for the other protagonists in the other two games, they're Red and Blue. Well, I mean Red and then you're technically your rival's Blue, so that would be Gary's position, if I'm not mistaken. So technically he would be Yellow, but I always named him Ash because I was a kid and I really loved the anime. Not to mention, you're talking to Oak. This is his grandson, and he looks like Gary. So, also, yeah, see, you would still name him Blue because he was supposed to be your rival. So even in this one, your name changes, but his name never changed technically, because there was no purple, it wasn't yellow and purple, it was just yellow. So this was the enhanced remake of Red and Blue, which Red is technically the enhanced remake of Green from Japan, which we never saw. It's out there actually, the ROM, and it's been English translated. It's different. Go to Bulbapedia and just look up these sprites for Pokemon Green. Some of them are horrendous. But yeah, this game, I remember going through hundreds probably of batteries between all the games that I had. All boys leave home someday. It said so on TV. Oh god, this game, the tropes in this game, this literally kicked off an entire generation of children. Also, there were some minor differences more closely related to the anime. Like in the other games, you would just go to Professor Oak's, but instead, you try to leave. Hey, wait, don't go out? Ah, that was close. Wild Pokemon live in tall grass. That's my kind of my Oak impression there. So yeah, Pikachu. Of course, it's Pikachu. Spoiler alert: he's your Pokemon. He's your starter. He's your starter. And guess what Gary's starter is? It's an Eevee. Like it's really that simple. But oh my god, going on trips, because my dad had family who lived in Arizona, and we drove to Arizona. We also drove, I lived in San Diego, not specifically San Diego. We actually lived in a city just north of San Diego called Escondido, and that's where I was born, that's where I was raised, and that's where I grew up. Obviously that's not where I live now. I live in Oregon, which is ironic because a lot of my family ended up moving to Oregon. Anyway, that's besides the point. So we would drive to Arizona all the time to visit my grandparents. Well, my grandma, after a while, my dad's mother, And we would also visit his sister in Anaheim, California. So Orange County, a couple of hours north. So we did, we did some road trips. And my Game Boy was always with me. Eventually, the GameCube was a thing, and we got a case for that. That actually started coming with us when we would go to my aunt's specifically. The N64 never really came with us, I don't believe. So yeah, I'm kind of going through the story right now because there's really no reason for me to read it. If you know the anime, you know the gist of this. Yeah, but there's a little bit more to it, more game stuff. Like, you try to take the Pokemon, Gary literally takes it away from you, and so you have pity taken on you, and you get the Pikachu, and God, it'd be a very different story if Ash had an Eevee. What would he have evolved to? Never mind, he wouldn't have evolved. That's right. I was gonna say, what would he have evolved to? Either they would have figured out a way for him to evolve, instead of them evolving vertically, you go 1, 2, 3 in the evolution, or in some cases you go 1, 2, and then 3A or 3B where it splits. I swear they would probably end up figuring out a way to make Flareon evolve into Jolteon and Vaporeon and Glaceon and Leafeon and Espeon and all of them. They would have figured out a way for you to evolve horizontally. So you could go from 1A to 1B, or no, you'd go from 2A to 2B. I swear that's probably what they would have done. Or his Eevee would have never evolved. Like, it's bad enough his Pikachu doesn't evolve, but they would have made a Pokemon that has, 8 different evolutions now? They would have made him never evolve. Just a weird thought. But this game... Now, this game isn't honestly that impressive. If I had to pick a Pokemon game that was very nostalgic to me, but really good, honestly, I would probably pick Leaf Green, because it is, and it's a generational remake. Like, it's the next it's still Generation 1, but instead of it being, oh, that was a crit. You son of a bit. I don't know if I'm going to beat this Eevee. Oh, no. It's because you got a crit. You stupid. God, that Pikachu faint noise is holy shit. That's evil. Yeah, well, okay. I would have won if that Eevee didn't freaking crit me. Yeah, now he's mad. I like how they tried to fit in the digitized Pikachu sounds, the Pikachu noises. That's kind of creepy. Even though I believe it's still the Nidoran cry at the very, very beginning. They probably didn't have enough room to fit another Pika noise. I forgot what I was saying because I totally lost. Yeah, he does not like me right now. Very much like the anime. Does not like me. Like, in a little while, after a couple of fights and whatnot, he warms up to you. But yeah, I would pick probably Leaf Green as the game I would probably go to if I was thinking retro Pokemon. But honestly, there's also, I played this one a lot, but I remember Silver probably a little bit more, only because I was starting to get a little bit older by the time I was playing Silver. I was a little bit younger when I was playing this one, and I pretty much went straight into playing Silver. But I was starting to get older, and as I got older, my memories are a little bit more clearer in some areas. Let me pass, damn it. Oh god, a Pidgey. Right, what was I saying? Memories. They got clearer as I got older, so I kind of remember playing Silver more than this one. So there's also Soul Silver that I would go to. And obviously there's the new Generation 3 remakes that are coming out in November, during my birthday, no less. So, any one of the advanced remakes, I would honestly lean towards, only because I'm a sucker for it looking as best as it can and it having the most features. And now I know there are people who are purists who have to play the original and can't play a remake, but I can play remakes just fine. Honestly, I kind of prefer some of the remakes. Now, I might be in a minority there, but I don't really care. You know, that's how I want to spend my games. I want my game to look like, what if they remade Pokemon Yellow in the advanced engine? Think about that for a second. That would blow my mind. If I had to pick one of the modern games, and honestly, because they keep remaking them, I guess you could consider the new Generation 3 remake to be modern. But I don't really consider it modern because it is a remake of an old classic, or I would maybe know it as a classic, but I would probably say a remake of a fan favorite. I guess they're all kind of a fan favorite though. But I consider the modern Pokemon games, DS and onwards. Out of the modern games, I honestly would I would have said Pokemon Black 2 before this, but now I would probably definitely say Pokemon X and Y. I still haven't beaten it, but I'm about to face the Ice Gym in that game, if you guys know that one. And honestly, I would probably go towards that one if I had to pick a modern game. That one is actually really well done. It's fun. It got a lot of people back who've fallen out of Pokemon series, like myself. I didn't play any of the DS ones. Once I started dating Christina and she moved in, she brought Pokemon Black with her, and I started playing Black on my 3DS, and it was pretty decent. And I was like, okay, maybe I should rethink my stance on the DS games. I since haven't gone back and played them, but you know, X and Y brought me back into the series. I got X, she got Y, and we played the shit out of them. She beat the game and started a new one, but in the time that it's taken me to... Yeah, let's not talk about it. But anyways. So yeah, I consider the first 3 generations the classic generations, and I consider the later 3 generations the modern generations. If they do a 7th or 8th and 9th generation, I don't know, future generations? I don't know how to consider that. I guess you would consider them actually more of the 2D generation. Because while the DS games were certainly 2D, they were, 3D sprites, right? It was just on a 2D plane, and it wasn't until Generation 6, X and Y, where they were fully 3D. So maybe I would actually split that even more. 2D generation, Pokemon Generation 1, 2, and 3, because obviously there's a lot more than just one game. Generation 1, 2, and 3, and then pseudo 3D, Generation 4 and 5, and then Generation 6 would be fully 3D. Or the 3D generation. I don't know what we're gonna do when we get to 9 and 10. The VR generation? Oh, Jesus Christ. A VR Pokemon game. Ugh, I kind of shudder to think of that, honestly. But if you guys liked this little rant and ramble on about Pokemon Yellow, consider subscribing and thumbsing up the video and sending it to your friends. I would greatly appreciate it, and it would help me out a lot. Remember, guys, this is episode 19 and a planned 26, so if you do want to see the rest of the series, consider subscribing, and you will get notified when the series gets uploaded, or when you guys will be able to get to see it, because it gets uploaded, spoiler alert, it gets uploaded earlier than it goes out. It gets scheduled to go up at 5 p.m. So, what the hell was that skip? Oh, anyways. And if you haven't seen the previous episodes, I would consider clicking on the icon, the Nintendo 125th anniversary logo that I created at the end slate. Consider clicking that, and that will take you to the playlist. If you're on a mobile device, I'm bad about putting links in the description. I'm actually really bad about doing end slates too, if you haven't noticed. If you've been keeping up with the series and you've noticed, end slates are not exactly up to date or missing in some cases. Yeah, I'm not good about doing end slates, let alone the description. So, sorry. Remember, guys, play more games, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good day. Ba-da-da-da-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-ba-ba-ba-ba-da.